Hello, 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 and welcome to the Lifestyle Show with me, Pam Joseph. Now, so sort of like, obeying the government advice of social distancing, you are all now welcome to my humble abode. We like to do this. We call it remote style. Okay, so welcome one and all. Right, now, we still have so many, well wishers and giving us, warm messages as well about the show and what we're doing and giving us the big thumbs up. Keep on going, keep on trucking. And we're trying to do our very, very best. And thank you ever so much. All right. Now, for the next few hours or so, we're going to be, we're going to ask you to stay tuned with us. And we're going to sort of give you an edutainment of issues and topics and what have you. And it's all good. It really is. You're also very welcome to interact on the show, and you can do that. But any comments you'd like to make or questions you'd like to post to any of our guests today. Now, we got a big one again. We do the panel. We want to follow the movement Black Lives Matters. Of course, we do. We're going to be talking again to some movers and shakers, UK style, and hearing what they have to say about their industry and what they'd like to see happen and what have you. We're going to keep that up, and we will. So you can do that. Here are ways you can do that. Message us via the YouTube platform at MediaNet Live TV, on Facebook, Lifestyle on Ben, tweet us at Lifestyle TV Show, or email us, Lifestyle on Ben, or one word, Lifestyle on Ben at hotmail.co.uk. Right. I think by now you know what I do. Bring my co-conspirator. And let's say howdy to Mr. Anthony Jordan, aka the Dark Persuader.
Hey Pam, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
What's going on? You getting more money than me? What's this grand piano?
I'm Stevie Wonder's coming around later to play it. It was just the lucky 6 numbers, as it were. Go online. I'm not going to endorse the company, but it was 6 numbers, and here I am.
Don't be silly. You're a champion winner. You are my best friend. You do know that.
Me?
Yeah.
I am. Okay, I thought it was
No.
Doug.
It's,
okay.
It's
okay. All right. Your check's in the post.
Yeah, thank you. As well, no cash in hands and check straight into my bank account. Thank you very much.
That's the one.
Okay. We've got 2 competitions here, Anthony, today. So, and we're going to be reading out later on the winner of what we had last week, and that was your very intricate question.
Yeah, so some people got it wrong and thought I was asking where did he move to. No, I did not ask where Terrell Lewis moved to. I asked where was his first performance held, and that was the question. So it was not where did he move to, from London. It was where was his first performance held, and the answer was aha.
I swear
it was in Essex. Well, thank you very much.
So we're going to give all that information later on towards the end of the show, because we want you all to listen up again. Hold of the program. We are going to be posing a question to you, and it would have been something that's discussed, something that's said. Listen very, very carefully. We have not only got that great, lovely company, Dargetti Teas, with their absolutely beautiful herbs and teas and spices and what have you, but we've also got Losters, and we're celebrating Father's Day.
Indeed we are. I sent my cards out to both my granddads, sent one to my dad, so everyone's happy. I didn't share the winnings, I just spent it all on the house.
So
it was a cardage.
Exactly, a cardage, that would do. So we've got two competitions.
Indeed, 2 very big ones. We've got some herbal teas for all to enjoy, and we have got the S-Curl. I have seen it, people. I swear to you, it is the hamper of hampers. You've got something for the top, you've got something for the beard. You've got the S-Curl beard balm and oil. You've got the S-Curl hair shampoo, conditioner, and the grease to put it in there. It's top.
You know what? I could do a bit of that now. My hairdresser's gone.
Father's Day gift.
You can't do the sort of touching of hair at the moment. I know the hairdresser salons are going to be opening soon. I have my lady, and I haven't seen her for a couple of months, and my hair hasn't.
Do you know the really sad thing? I don't know if you've heard the news. When you do see her, you're not allowed to catch up, because as per Boris, we're not allowed to talk to our hairdressers. So just text them. I
can't tell them all the secrets about the Dark Persuader. My gosh, that's not good enough.
And his lucky 6 numbers.
and he's lucky 6'11". Can I just say about moringa with ginger? The moringa with ginger, one of the Dargettis. This is absolutely A1. This is
I'm actually looking forward to tasting that because I'm quite a big fan of both moringa and.
It's in me cup. We got it there.
So clearly you have another best friend before me.
Well, not really. But last night, what was really soothing, I had the Sarassi Carilla bitter lemon. Nice. Very soothing. Knocked off. Lovely blends, and they always do the lovely blends. Get Dargetti teas. Excellent. All right then, sir.
Yeah, we shall catch up.
Yeah, nicely. Yeah. See you in a bit.
I'm going to practice on the piano while you interview.
Yeah, right.
See ya.
Right. Okay. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, last week, you may remember, I told you about the horrific double murder of sisters Bibaa Henry and Nicole Smallman in a northwest London park, and appealed for witnesses to come forward. Well, stepping on to that appeal and giving us an update on the investigation, I'm joined now by Detective Chief Inspector Simon Harding of the Metropolitan Police Force. Good day to you. Thank you ever so much, DCI Harding. I know you are extremely busy, and I thank you for taking the time out to speak to us today.
That's fine. Thanks for inviting me, Pam. It's important to get the message out, so to speak to as many people as possible is really important for the investigation, so thank you very much.
Excellent. Just for the benefit of those viewers who perhaps don't know enough or perhaps didn't even know about this, can you please give us a recap of this horrific crime?
Yeah, so Nicole and Bibaa are sisters. They were in Friant Country Park on Friday the 5th of June, celebrating Bieber's 46th birthday, and got there around about 20 to 8 in the evening. They were joined by a group of friends, making up about 10 in all. And during the course of that evening, they were listening to music and dancing, kind of social distancing as well. Just having nibbles to eat, just really enjoying themselves with their friends. And during the course of that night, their friends left, and Bibaa and Nicole were left alone around about midnight, now into Saturday the 6th of June. What we know after that is that Nicole sent a message around about 1:05 in the morning to somebody else on their phone. And we released a couple of photographs this week taken by Nicole and Bibaa around at that time where they were dancing, listening to music, and they were whirling some fairy lights around as well. They're quite artistic, and they're taking pictures of themselves and still images of the lights whirling around. And it's important because that is a kind of trigger to people to, did you see something, something that just grabbed your attention around about that time? And the last photograph was taken about 13 minutes past 1 in the morning. And then after that, efforts to call them from around about 2:30 in the morning were unanswered by both girls. And then later on, unfortunately, right the way through to Sunday, they were discovered in the park itself, having been unfortunately stabbed to death.
Yeah, let's just go to the field of the park. It's Friant Country Park. Can I just say something, DCI Harding? It's been always said that it's Wembley. I always thought it was Kingsbury, NW9. What are we right in the juxtaposition of saying Kingsbury, NW9?
Yeah, it is Kingsbury. That's fair to say. I think people, it's funny that people just kind of associate. They call it Wembley. It's kind of a big place that people know close by. Kingsbury's not always the most known place in London to people, especially if they're not from that area. So, yeah, it is in Kingsbury. It's quite a large park, so it touches quite a lot of areas around from all its points anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, you say in your report that it was a lone assailant. Now, I need to ask you this really seriously. How do you determine that it was a lone assailant? Are we talking eyewitnesses? Are we talking CCTV images?
Well, I haven't said it's a lone assailant. What I've said is that it's believed to be a stranger attack. Now, that's come on the part where everybody that was at the gathering that time and looking into Bibaa and Nicole's life, that there's no person and no one close to them and no reason why this would have happened to them from somebody close. And we have DNA of a male that was been left at the scene and only one DNA. So I can't rule out there was a second person there, but there's nothing that suggests at this time that there was more than one. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, but I hear that. Now, we all watch CSI. We all know that you can determine the nationality or origin of a person through the blood analysis. So saying that to you now, do you already know the nationality of the assailant with the blood that was taken?
No, not yet. That's not a quick process by any means. There's I've brought in the National Crime Agency, the NCA, into the investigation to assist with the progression of DNA and not just in heritage, as you're talking about, to identify where in the world particularly that DNA came from, but also possibly any family lines that we can find as well. So it's not a quick process. The scene itself, for example, is going to be open for many weeks to come as well. It's a very meticulous search we're doing. We found items in a pond a few hundred meters away. So there's quite a large area. So all those sort of things you're thinking about DNA are all happening. They don't happen overnight. We're still trying to interpret what's happened as well. So yes, it continues at pace, but it's not always the pace that you want, obviously.
Yeah, it almost sounds as if the killer had time, if you will, to dispose of various belongings. You say you found phones in the pond. Other items were picked up, without realizing how important they were by, a good souled, person who picked up things and put them in the rubbish and things like that. And you've asked for people if they've stumbled against anything. So it's almost seen as if the killer had time to, if you will, take these belongings and spread them about and try to get rid of them.
Yeah, it's unusual. And again, when I come back to interpreting the scene, it's very difficult to understand exactly what's happened in that period of time at the moment. And we have scientists from all over and different specialities, niche services coming in to help us identify what's happened. But certainly with the property, yeah, I mean, it was it's quite often that part that people will, the following morning after the night before, people go and clear up litter to keep their part nice and clean. People did do that, and then the items were taken to a bin and then taken to a refuse dump locally. And our officers spent many days there, knee deep in all the rubbish, trying to identify and seize lots of items that. And we've pretty much got as much probably as we can find now. We're talking hundreds, possibly thousands of tons worth of rubbish to go through. So we've got as much as we can at the moment.
Yeah, that's very hard and dedicated work there. We now look at the safety of others. I'm going to talk about, as females, females were slain. I am a female. We have many females who go to the park with their children and what have you. I frequent that park. It's local to me. It's local to me. Now, I need to come a bit more direct with this. How safe are we as females around the area of Kingsbury / Wembley?
It's an extremely valid point to make, and especially when you hear the phrases of stranger attacks and things like that, it naturally puts fear into people. And as much as we can do to take that fear away by putting extra patrols, the local officers around there are determined to reassure members of the public around Kingsbury and all that local area. And we have still a large presence there at the moment in terms of the investigation, but also with officers. But it really is one of those things where it's just remaining vigilant and coming to us with thoughts about somebody that is particularly suspicious, or not just back then that you're trying to think of, but even now. It's possible the person could live local. We don't know. They could have travelled in. We just don't know that at the moment. So, it is about identifying people that might be suspicious, calling us, and then because we have DNA, we can eliminate that person straight away. And there's lots of points that I made last week, especially about the cut, possibly to the hand. Yes. The person that has, done this has sustained what I would think really is quite a significant cut, somewhere probably close to the hand, bottom of the arm, something like that. And so there's going to be somebody in our community, in your community, it's somewhere where they have a bandage or something which is all of a sudden completely unexplained. And people have a fear of and sometimes don't want to maybe put someone forward because they don't want to upset them and suggest they might have done something. And it could even be a mum or a dad who's got a son sitting there or something else who might be who might be responsible and they're just worried about putting him forward, obviously in case it's them. But equally, I say, you know, that it's so important to identify this person naturally for what you're saying about the fear that can be caused by this, to get them as quickly as possible.
Indeed, indeed. Last week, as I said, we spoke about it. We had various comments and questions coming through from viewers, and a couple of them sort of like reiterated the same thing. Now, I have to give you this, and I have to say it because they're going to expect me to say this. Are you looking at the possibility that this could be a race hate attack?
Yeah, so I've discussed that with the family as well, and the main thing at the moment is we don't know what the motive is. So it remains a top motive like anything else. Particularly, you know, in the current climate with Black Lives Matters, it's an important thing to look at. But, you know, we would look at different motives, whether it was a sexual motive, whether it was a race motive, whether it's just a random, or whether there was an argument, anything it could be. I think in particular to look at with this as well is, and having discussed this with the family quite a lot, if you look at Nicole, she actually gets described as white very often in her life. She looks even Italian. She's been called Italian in the past. So I don't think if you looked at them together, you would say necessarily that was, you know, the motive that stands out at the moment. But 100%, if there is any inkling that it is, it will be dealt with as such. But at the moment, there's nothing to suggest that until we know, you know, the only person that can tell us that is the person that did it at the moment.
Yeah, okay. We've got, this is coming through now. To Stella from Willesden asks, I've been visiting the Frying Park for years and even bring my young children there. Is it no longer a safe place to go? I just basically said it myself. Yeah,
I mean, that again, it's probably the same answer I gave before. You know, it's so important to catch this person as quickly as possible, which is why, you know, we can't do that alone. It's about the public helping us. It's about local residents thinking, taking themselves back to the 5th of June, the 6th of June. Did they see anyone suspicious? Do they know anyone now with this cut to their hand? That sort of thing, so that my team can then work on them. And we've had hundreds of calls from members of the public and a fantastic response from the local residents around the park. And like your caller says there, that it's important that safety comes back to that park, and the reassurance that we give to everybody is important. So
right. Mark from Stanmore asks, why isn't the police going as far as a reconstruction of the night in question, seeing as this